Good morning, everybody. The birds are singing, and you can hear some traffic out in the distance. I've moved. The girls and I are staying for a little bit with David and his family, and it's been a transition. And it's funny. This morning I woke up really early, as usual, but I didn't have access to the information that I normally have quickly and readily. And so it took me a little while to kind of tap into what the message of today was going to be. And I got it. It's an important one, as all of them that I share are all different forms of nourishment for the body, the mind, and the soul. I believe that there is an easier way to live. And again, I've lived in two realities in my life. One has been a reality based on fear, which has closed a lot of doors and caused me a tremendous amount of stress in my life. And the other has been based on inner peace and strength. And I want to just give you an example of how not being in fear, or seeing or making decisions based on scarcity, based on any problem that might be occurring in the moment, and to be able to give space to allow for growth when things feel tight and constricted. Because the tightness and the stress and the where doors feel closed is actually the point of transformation. And I share this because, everybody nowadays has different things in their life that cause them to be stressed out. Whether it's stress in your parent-child relationship, whether it's stress in your job, your career, or stress in your relationship. If you make decisions based on stress that limit, it actually takes the opportunity away to grow. And so that's why it's really important to achieve inner peace. And what inner peace is, it's really loud out here, has to do with resiliency. And resiliency is and patience, and knowing that all will unfold. There's some equipment. There's cranberry bogs right below me, so there's some pretty big equipment driving by right now, so I apologize. I really wanted to be outside this morning because it's really nice, but again, I'm in a new situation, so I'm learning and going through the experience of what works and doesn't work. And what I know to be 100% true is what does not work is approaching life in a being fearful, or making decisions based on fear. We'll say that, because fear gives you the opportunity to be present. It gives you the opportunity to see how things unfold. And it certainly will continue to present itself once you've learned to walk through fear with optimism. And that is considered living a life of being in an abundant mindset. And that's it's a quick message that I wanted to talk to you about today. And just to fill in the gaps a little bit, there's opportunity right now to live in what is considered unity with things, and that is where there's the flow and the ease and the grace of being present and being in full ownership of your own emotions, good, bad, or pretty, ugly, any of that. Like, our emotions are there as indicators, and where we're feeling a little bit off balance, we have that right as human beings to feel that way. But it's important also to have the tools and the skills to be able to put yourself back into balance and allow yourself that time. When we are living in separation, we allow our imbalances to fester, and that creates almost like a constant tension. And that constant tension actually separates families. It separates you from the people that you love, and it does not create peace. But being in full ownership of your emotions and of yourself actually gives you the opportunity to create peace in your life. And peace creates flow. And flow gives you the opportunity to access unlimited possibility. But here's the thing. When I talk about flow in life, even as a mom, as a business owner, as a woman in a relationship, it is because I've been able to learn how to master these skills of being, present and peaceful. And I didn't do it alone. It wasn't something that all of a sudden I woke up and knew how to do. In fact, I share very, very openly that I've lived in two realities. There's been one reality that has been incredibly stressful, and it was really causing me physical pain, physical illness. I was going around and around and around in the same looping patterns, the same thoughts, the same reactions every single day of my life. I was really not liking the person that I was. I didn't feel like there was any, I felt like, wow, this is my life. Like, this is the white, the picket fence living that I dreamed of, and it feels incredibly wrong to me. Everything about my life felt really, really wrong and hard. And so what I did was I connected with a coach. In fact, I met her like head on a couple years ago, and just in speaking to her one time, I knew that I had to work with her, and so I became a student. I became a student of living a peaceful life. And because I did that, because it was a point in my life where I really needed it, and I didn't pray at the time, I do now, but I believed in myself enough as a student because I had been successful before. I had I had been I am an athlete. I had been coached before. I had been a student, right? I did well in college. High school was a struggle, but I did well in college. I had been a student before. But what I hadn't ever learned was how to be an adult. I certainly hadn't ever learned how to be a parent. And I had no clue how to approach it from a growth mindset, meaning, how do I use everything around me as opportunity to become the best person that I could be? And this fascinated me. And that, and the fact that I always believed, I was always attracted to beautiful things. And it was hard for me to be in a world that was not peaceful, beautiful, like abundant. And so what I realized is that I wasn't living true to my soul. I wasn't living true to my inner self, and that was really all that mattered. That none of the other stuff that was going on, none of the thoughts in my head that were, judgmental to me or self-critical, all of those things were just tools that I learned how to transform. So now I don't have a self-critical mind. I have an abundant mind. And the abundant mind seeks to grow through some of the biggest stress. It allowed me to grow a business when I was a single mom, fresh out of a separation, by choice. It allowed me to take significant steps forward that other people felt were very, very risky, and they paid off. And all of them made me and my children stronger in love and peace, because that was the foundation of it. The foundation of us as human beings is not fear. The foundation of us is love and peace. Good morning, Janice. Love and peace. And when we get back to that, then we start to create what it is we're wanting in our life. Right now, because a lot of our lives are built on scarcity and fear and separation, that's what we continue to create. So we actually have to learn how to create peace in our life. And actually, your everyday circumstances are bringing you this opportunity to transform them. And I'm not really doing any strategy teaching on this call, on this Facebook Live, but I am, I'm sharing kind of real in the moment stuff because I didn't wake up happy this morning. I did not wake up. In fact, I woke up pretty stressed, pretty, like, wow, what's going on type thing. And so what I had to do was I had to get really in touch in order to deliver this message to you guys and make it pop. I had to really get in touch with my inner source, and my inner source is flow. My inner source is it's love. And so even in times where I'm a little stressed out, I'm tired, things like that, like I can still dig in. And as I read from a post, and it was actually a post from my endurance coach, Katya, who runs ultra marathons, and I don't know if I'll ever get there. I'm still working with mindset around running and running through pain and all of that stuff. But she reminded us today in our group that when you quit, when things get hard, you don't grow. And I'm supported by people who, share the same mentality. But I have to say that I was a quitter because I simply didn't know how to build endurance of strength inside of myself. Like we have this outer persona and this outer world that we live in, where it's kind of we're attached. We have these energetic attachments to, and we can allow that to break us down. And what I'm saying is it's time to use those circumstances in your life to build relationships, to build bridges that are solid in love, to build, even I say communities. One of the things that I'm getting ready to start to do is to go on a journey to Italy to see how they build communities, around agriculture and around farming. And I don't quite know how this is all going to play into the Nourish Mama, but I do know that the Nourish Mama is all about building communities. And that community starts with you. The community that you're surrounding yourself with can be your children, your significant other, your spouse. And what kind of community do you want to be living in? And really making it a choice. So, this weekend I'm going to take some time to totally reflect and be at peace with whatever is happening around me. That's something that, no matter where you are in your life and your point of mastery, it still takes practice and it takes diligence. And if you're, if you like this, just hit like. If you enjoy the messages that I'm sharing with you, if they spark something inside of you, just hit like. You can share if you think that this information is something that others might want to know. It is different, right? But I've lived in two realities as a mom and as a woman. And one reality has led to near destruction, right? It just was really, really challenging to live the life that I used to live as a mom and as a wife. And the other one has brought me amazing, what I call miracles, really, to my life. that otherwise would not have been present or even available for me. So, you know, that is the transformational process that I talk about and that I do teach. And people in, you know, people in my life are having their own successes through what I've been sharing. So everybody, I hope you have a great Friday. Thanks for hanging with me. Things seem to have quieted down a little bit. And I love you guys. Bye.